86 podcast. We are here. Sushi master Jimmy eats the world.
Yes.
Chef Mike Calantes here. Seki in the back room of that's converted into a podcast room, but also there's a toilet and some sake bottles right behind Jimmy. We have the amazing pleasure to talk to Chef Eric, Master Sushi Chef Morimoto Season 1 competition. Let's go. Airing in a couple days.
Yes.
Super
Really
stoked,
excited.
man. Yeah. We just did Vanoy yesterday and talking a lot of smack about you. I don't know why he just doesn't like you. Was just talking directly.
You know what? It's the beard because mine is much sexier than his. And I get it. I'd be jealous of it too.
No, absolutely, man. You've done TV. You've done a lot of TV. I mean, you're taking over your side of town. You've got a lot of restaurants, but like Sushi Masters, man. How was the pitch? Like, I want to know, what was the pitch to you? What got you like, hey, I'm gonna do this show. It's cool, Obviously, you're not really the sushi guy, but
no, I'm not.
But you went for it, man.
Listen. Well, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, they pitched it to me, and I said, listen, it's not my wheelhouse. I mean, I do some things that are in sushi style, but it's not, I'm not versed in it. We make sushi rice. We do things with sashimi and things, but not at that level, let's say, that you are. And they said, don't worry. All the chefs are in your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, cool. I like a challenge. Let's check it out. I know Morimoto for years. We've done a lot of events together. And so I'm like, I love the guy.
What did they say the show was like, kind of sushi-esque, or was like?
Yeah, they said it was kind of like it's sushi-esque, elements of sushi, things that you could do, like you do in your restaurant. I'm like,
right,
cool, I'm in. And then if you remember, one of the first things I said when I walked into the room was, okay, chefs, I'll say it. I am the token white guy.
You will now be known as the token white guy on the sushi
yes,
show.
That was the first. Listen, it was true. But it was, coming out there and doing the show. It was definitely, for me, way out of my comfort zone, way out of my wheelhouse. Never felt so uncomfortable after 42 years of doing this. But it was a great experience. I got to meet some amazing chefs, some interesting people. I got to become friends with you, Vanoy, and like the relationships. In fact, I'm doing
friends. I don't know if it's
that's
friends.
A loose term.
Frenemies. I mean, the competition show's over, and then we became friends, right?
Yeah.
No, well, listen, there was no. For me, it was about going and doing the best I could in the
absolutely
realm that it was in. But wait, I'm going to call you out on something. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm calling you out on this on your show because this needs to be said. I'm alive 53 years, almost 54 years. So did you tell the story about our night for dinner and what you chose to go out for dinner for?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
He has no.
Here's a great one. So we're all together and everyone's like, oh, let's go for dinner. And everyone's like, where do you want to go? I'm thinking, I'm with these sushi folks. We're going to find the best sushi in town. We went to the most disgusting place in the universe. You don't remember.
My favorite place. Oh, now I know it. My favorite place.
Oh my God, I hated you so much.
I'm still trying to get a deal with this company. It's amazing.
Yeah. What place is this? Oh,
Olive Garden.
Dude, all you can eat breadsticks and unlimited salad and soups.
Bro, come on. No, it was walking distance from the hotel where we weren't going to go any. I mean,
and
we're all
Panda Express. Wait, Panda Express.
Oh man.
Oh, that is a fine Chinese cuisine.
I don't know why we didn't.
Wait, I'm here hanging and chilling with a Michelin star sushi master chef. I'm like, yeah, this guy knows where to go for dinner. And we go to Olive Garden.
That sounds about right.
All of you.
Okay, can I preface this? This was like 6 a.m. call times, like 15 hours, mentally draining. And then by the time you get home, you're just like, take a shower, grab a beer, and let's get out or something. So Olive Garden was a great show. I mean, in retrospect, I'm like, we're all like, this was such a terrible idea, but it was good. Yeah. Whatever, man.
But you know what? That's how stories are made, though, right? Like, it's not going to be the same story where you guys are all hanging out, building that camaraderie after a show or during filming. Oh, we went to this really nice, really fancy schmancy place, and we had these small plates, and we were laughing about it. No, it's like dude, he took me to Olive Garden of all the places, right? So
and they were all stoked for it. And I had never at that point in my life.
Yeah, that was the weird part. That everybody was down for OGs, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's down for OGs. Those, yeah.
It was again odd man out, but it was like I've never been to an Olive Garden before. And in the last 16, 17 months, I've lost like 172 pounds. So my diet has completely changed and off the rail. So we go and I'm like, what can I have here? I'm like, do you have like soup or something? I could just because I can't eat some garbage.
It's all carbs.
Oh my god, it was carbs.
Man. Did you want pasta with your pasta?
Yeah, I know.
Literally, that's it.
Like a little cream sauce on that, because
so you're getting like they pitched this idea to you. When was this too? What was the timeline for you on this?
So this was, I guess, I just gotten done with Alex versus America, so that was probably June of last year, about a year ago.
Oh, June. So we filmed in August. I interviewed with them in March, and I don't think I didn't get the go ahead until maybe end of July. Like it was a tight time frame for sure. Yeah,
it was. But listen, when they talked to me about it, and I went through obviously several interviews.
Right.
I wasn't sure if I was going to get on because Alex versus America was about to launch. So, we had just we taped it back in May, and then I was like, the show's, I had full disclosure, this show's coming out in September, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, okay,
good.
Cool. So it was fun. Listen, I had a great time. It was, after the first day of competition, I had a good time, but I was like, after the first day, I was not having it. I was like, I could embarrass myself.
You had a rough first day.
Ooh, yeah.
Should we say that? Can we say that right now? Well, let's just
spoiler alert. Yeah, no, let's keep that under wraps. Let's put that back.
We're not gonna even go there.
Listen, I almost walked.
I think everybody had those up and downs. It was.
My first. Tough. Yeah, but my first day was rough because I've cut millions of pounds of fish a day. You would think I never touched a fish in my life. It was terrible. It was
so even a guy like you who's been doing TV for a while, man, it's the nerves. Because I was telling this to Vinoy, I probably came in with the least amount of TV experience, so I think that kind of played into those nerves of, man, and so it still had the.
I wasn't nervous about the show. I've known Morimoto for a long time. He's always been he's been intimidating. Like, just because of his presence, because of his
swagger.
Yeah, he's a monster. So I was supposed to do Iron Chef years ago when my second cookbook came out. And the reason we didn't do it was because they wanted to control the narrative of where my cookbook went to. And my PR girl was like, nah, that's not happening. But I was and they asked me who I wanted to go up against. I said, the only chef that I would go up against is Morimoto. They're like, why? He scares the ever-loving hell out of me. Like, he is so good at what he does, and he's got this presence and aura. And I'm like, that's the challenge that I want. I love a good challenge. And this, for me, was a massive challenge. Like, just the food end of it, not the show, not the people. I was so out of my comfort zone that I really had to, there were things that you guys were coming up with. I'm like, what? Yaka, what the haba?
How do you say that?
Yeah, I mean, even to today, there was one of the dishes. I was writing it down because we're doing a launch party here next week, and it was, I forget what fish it was, but I was struggling with it, and I was like, "What the hell is this called?" I couldn't remember the name because it was so weird. Like, to me, it was so.
And that speaks to your, who you are as a person. Like, this guy really inspired me on the show.
Yeah,
what he's been through, his weight loss journey. You jump in head first into a pile of you don't know what, you know what I mean, and you just go for it, bro. A lot of people, and I think that speaks to a lot to chefs, but most people don't want to seem silly or whatever. But like the challenge, like you going after, if I'm going to be on Iron Chef, I'm going after the top dog. It says a lot about 100%. Who you are as a person, for sure, man. I mean, he was the heavy metal rocker guy on the show for sure. But so that was how you got on.
Yeah.
But I mean, tell us about like where you've been, the projects you've been involved in. I mean, we got to hit it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
I'm actually kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Say Sorry.
I was going to ask you. So, like, you spoke a little bit about stepping into an arena where you weren't necessarily uncomfortable about the show or being on the show itself, but just the realm of what you're having to deal with.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had experience to be able to push through that first day, right? Where most people are just kind of defeated after that first day. So what do you do, or what goes through your mental whenever you come through obstacles within your career, or like the same way with this show, that allows you to push yourself through that?
Well, I've been through a tremendous amount of amazing challenges in my life between, you know, child abuse, drug addiction, beating cancer, and almost dying from that multiple times. So I find everything as an opportunity and a challenge to challenge myself. I don't on a daily basis. I always look for, okay, we did this well, but how can we do it better? And that's what led me to like the change of my lifestyle. Like I always thinking to myself, how can I be better for everybody around me? And I'm like, it's kind of hypocritical when you're not good to yourself. I was tipping 340, and though I still outworked everybody, out hustled everybody, I was like, I'm not. How can I be a hypocrite and say I'm going to be better for everybody else if I'm not to me, if I'm not
Agreed.
to me? So
it looks like when I look at his pictures, I'm like, it's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like it,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't. It's like a completely different person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do on my social media, on my Instagram at Chef Eric L. I do a Transformation Tuesday. I do a Transformation Tuesday every week, and it's not for ego. It's not for, hey, look at me. It is for the guy or girl who's in the same exact position that I was in. That you can do anything. You listen. I have buddies who are like, oh, how'd you do that? I said I cut out flour, sugar, potato, rice, work out twice a day, 7 days a week, cut out alcohol, specific meal. And they're like, cut out alcohol? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, I couldn't do that. I go, it's not that you can't, but you don't want to. You don't care enough to change your mindset. And that was the biggest thing for me. Changing the mindset, like just how I eat, how I approach it. And like anything else in life, you're in control of you, unless you find excuses. And it's the old, when you're pointing a finger at somebody, you have three pointing back at you.
Yep.
You accept that and understand that and live in that mindset. Anything is possible. You can manifest anything, and I'm a true believer in that. Like you can really, and I didn't get it, and then it started happening. All the good things. I was always painting myself into a corner. I mean, I opened my first restaurant when I was 22 years old, and I was not ready for it. I was not ready for the accolades. I was getting,
we're never ready for it.
Yeah.
No. But I was a kid, and all the things that I learned from were from monsters who were just literally soul destroyers. And I thought that's the way to do it. I thought it was about me. And I was getting USA Today did top 10 chefs in America, Food Art Magazine, Wine Spectator, all these top 10, blah 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 blah. And I thought, look at me, I'm awesome, me. And I got punched in the face a couple of times. And then as time went by, and I was 29, I had my first battle with cancer. That was kind of like that really leveled me as far as ego. And you can get all the accolades, and you can do all the TV, and you can get all the awards and write all the books. But if you don't treat people properly, that comes back to you tenfold. And I'm proof of that because, I battled cancer 6 times,
Six.
And,
That's insane, man. Crazy, man.
And I'm very, very lucky and very, very blessed because one of the battles that I had, so backwards, or all over the place. When I was taping Chopped, the night before the taping, I had a chemo treatment, a radiation treatment, and my oncologist told me that I was terminal. I had 6 to 8 months to live.
Jeez.
And there's nothing stranger than hearing that. Because we're all immortal for a limited time, and we're all going to pass. But when someone tells you, here's your window, son. This is what you got. There's no more, and you have to make a decision on how you're going to live. So I got up in the morning. My family was like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, I'm going to go on Chop. They're like, "Well, why?" And because I'm very dark humored, I said, well, here's how I look at it. I could go on Chopped, win, and die a winner. Or if I go on and lose, what are people going to say? Oh, he sucked on Chopped, he lost, and he died of cancer. What a piece of garbage. So
that's insane. I mean, I understand it though.
Who's saying that? What kind of piece of shit saying that? And give me his address.
For me, I've always found humor in the worst things, and it's how you deal with it. I guess it's how you find a way, and if you can make people feel comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's the greatest thing. Like, I do cooking classes.
You know how it is. I mean, going back to your your weight gain and this lifestyle. I mean, you've been doing it a lot longer than I have, in a lot grittier city. And but the lifestyle is the lifestyle, and it's
Yeah.
kind of there's just so many bad habits. It's a blue collar job. No matter how TV, you take the shine,
Yeah.
the polish, then it's still a blue collar job. It's getting your hands dirty. It's 65 hour, weeks. It's a
Mhm.
tough life. And you couple that with like crappy diet and drinking all night, and back then, man, no one talks about their emotions.
Yeah.
You go
Oh,
go cry in the walk-in was
yeah,
yeah.
literally was a thing. Yeah.
Go
And
cry in the
listen,
walk-in, man. Handle it, come back out and finish off the night, and
Yeah.
that was it. And
yeah,
so it's been so much that suppression of emotion and just anxiousness, and I think
yeah, the
we've
anxiety.
gotten a lot better. We still got a ways to go, but there's
Yeah.
guys who obviously like Eric who are really like leading that.
No, I appreciate you even setting the example, right? And I think what you said kind of hit the nail on the head is being accountable for your own actions and not pointing the finger at other people.
100%.
I think in this day and age, with chefs in general, or just with anybody in general, in any industry for that matter, it's hard for people to kind of take control of that because they want to have the perfect scenario, but when it doesn't go their way, it's so much easier to sit there and say, "Well, it's not my fault because you did that or you did that," right?
Yeah.
And they might take some partial blame, but like you said yourself, you start to find better results when you start taking accountability for your own actions, right?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
it sounds like you've had a really great career so
Listen,
far.
yeah.
What are
I'm,
some of the things that what are your favorite moments from your past so far
these,
that you would
this,
love to share?
this literally, I mean, 40, almost 43 years of awesome.
Hmm.
Like really, I've had, and I've busted my tail for it.
Yeah.
And I've had a
Well,
lot of
this
success.
guy's still in the
I've,
kitchen. You watch his videos. He's still in the kitchen every
Yeah.
yeah,
day.
but
Correct.
I
I'm
love
Correct.
it.
surprised your
But
beard hasn't
that's the
caught on
thing.
fire yet.
I know my why. You know what I mean? That's the place. I know what
That's good.
my
Oh,
why
that's
is to
why.
serve.
Yeah.
My why is to serve my staff, my customers, my family. When you understand that, and you understand service, and you understand your why, everything
Mhm.
else is easy. Like I don't care. I'll scrub a toilet. My guys walk past a piece of paper. I'm like, hey, you just walked past that paper. Oh, I didn't see it. I'm like, I know, because you're too busy on your phone walking around. And, but highlights. I mean, there's been really so many. I mean, I was nominated for a couple of Beard Awards back in 2003, uh,
Mhm.
No.
in 2004, winning the Restaurant Guild International Chef of the Year, winning the International Caterers Association Chef of the Year. I think those kind of highlights are great. Putting out cookbooks and getting some awards for those things, those
Mhm.
are great. But like it really, I hate to sound like a jackass, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't achieve the things that are important, the people aspect of it, raising my people up and giving them opportunities and making
Mhm.
them like my girl Jessica, who does pasta with me every day. Like
Mhm.
my goal, I want for her, like I want to build her a business. That I was talking to her about the other day. I said, "Listen, what do you think about opening up a pasta store with me?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Let's open up Jessica's pasta." And
Right.
she's like, I don't know what to do. I go, no, no, no. You know what to do. I will help you get there
Mhm.
Right.
because she's so good at what. Like I taught her how to make everything, and
Mhm.
she's 1,000 times better than me now.
But
Like
now it's that role that you play now of like a lot of people, they have the skill set. They they know where they want to be, but they lack the vision or the direction, the coaching to get there.
yeah,
And it's just I always say like I'm just connecting. I'm just a connecting point between if it's the money and the business or the talent and the operation or the space or the real estate. Like
yeah,
I love the fact that I could be a connecting point, and then you get to see something in other people living out their dreams or their best life and providing for it.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I scaled down to just a 10-seat fine dining restaurants, because at the moment in my life and what I could, I'm only capable of handling this. And I think that was, it was humbling, but it was also like realizing, hey, um, this is all I really want to do for this season of my life,
Mhm.
until whatever, until something
and
else
it
happens.
will change and it will evolve. Listen, I have a friend of mine who is an amazing vegan cook, and we were
Right.
talking the other day. She brings me stuff all the time, and the stuff is banging. and we do a lot of vegan here as well. Well, at 317, and we did a couple of we did cooking classes once a month, and I did 2 of them. They sold out really quick, and the stuff that we made, like the people that came that were not vegan were like, this is money. So we started talking about it, and I said, hey, why don't we open up a vegan restaurant? She's like, I know nothing about it. I go, you don't have to. Let's create the dishes. We'll do it together. Your ideas. I will scale the recipes. I will scale it. I will help you build it. She's like, awesome. You would do that? And I'm like, let's go. Because I went vegan for a year when I came out of that 5th battle of cancer. I went to this holistic doctor. He's like, you got to change everything in your life, do something drastic. And I'm like, what? He's like, go vegan. And I'm like, that's going vegan.
I don't know if I could do it.
I tried it for 2 weeks, and that was not fun for me.
Yeah, I did it for a year, and it was great because
I was doing vegan Mondays and I couldn't do it. I immediately I was so sorry. Like one day, I'm like burger.
Yeah, but it's a change, but it's such an interesting approach to food because it opens your mind to so many different techniques and approaches and styles and like just it's not just vegetable, you know. It's really kind of cool and deep. And so we've been talking about this, and I just put a bid on a spot. So she's like, "You did?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going." She's like,
"You're going
all
vegan.
Right, let's go ride this wave, baby. Let's go."
Oh, man, I'm gonna buy you your first pair of sandals, dude. I got you, dude.
The plus side is Oreos are vegan.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not gluten free. So
they're not gluten free, but they're vegan.
No, that was one. What's the cream made out of?
I don't know, not animal product.
Oh God,
lard.
yeah, that's lard. Carrot lard, gotcha.
Carrot lard, yeah.
So
that's some weird shit.
I mean, you've got so much going on, man, and then you decide to just jump on the show. I mean, what was your? Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about your overall experience and everything like that. It was into like seeing the space, a stadium for the first time. Yeah. Was this your first? I'd say like you know, multi-series. This was going to be multiple episodes.
Yeah. This was the first long format series. Because I got asked to do Top Chef a couple times, but the time frame is 6 weeks away from my business. I couldn't do it. I wanted to because I thought it'd be kind of cool, but then I thought, nah, I'm not in. Actually, I wasn't going to do any more shows after Alex versus America. I was just like, I'm done. You know, it's great. I had fun doing it. I was like, nah, I'm not interested anymore. Then when this call came, I was like, this could be kind of cool and funky. If it's all people in my wheelhouse, that would be really cool. But listen, at the end of the day, you know, I took it as a challenge, as another thing. And I'm like, if I could get somewhere deep into it, I'm good. Instead of getting knocked out the first day in a longer format, which worked out. But I realized how out of my comfort zone and my wheelhouse I was. Like I was way out. Like watching you, some of the other chefs do it, I was like, that was probably the most intimidating part of it because I was like, this, I don't know a fuck ton, I don't know anything about this shit. So I was like, it was very, very unique to me. But
I mean, the first day, I remember the first call for like the first episode, the first day. We all get to go downstairs. It's like 6 a.m. You've been up since 4 a.m. or something, you know, like, but everyone, I mean, it was really like competitive. Like everyone took it serious. Everyone had their headphones in. No one talked to each other. Like we're all waiting in the front of the hotel. Everyone's like in like
morning
10 feet away from each other, like in their zone with their music and like like everyone was ready to go. Well, I think by the second day, everyone started to crack a little bit and we're like, okay, let's all get dinner together at
the OG.
At the OGs. But that first day, even for me, I was like, you know, you're sizing everybody up. You don't know what everyone brings to the table. Even, you know, Vinoy and you guys and the guys who it wasn't their specialty for sushi, but I knew, listen, you're here for a reason. You're picked. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing. You're here for a reason. You've made it past this point. You're definitely crafty enough to make it happen. And we had no idea, you know, was this going to be a crazy show, sabotage show? We had no idea what kind of format they were really going to play. I think they told us, well, they told me, Eric, what was it? Fusion sushi competition. So, okay. Then we find out it's like a master sushi chef. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? You know, what does that mean? You know?
That man, the token white guy, way out of his comfort zone. But you know what? Like even the personalities in the room, it was interesting. I mean, I know you had your battles between in the back of the room, but
let's talk. Wait, so what happened behind the closed doors? You know, I took the competition a little serious. I took it
a little bit, dude. I
promise, I'm a nice guy. I
know that. Why do you think I still talk to you?
I was very intense.
I heard Vinoy's take on it. What's your impression of him and his intensity from what I heard?
Well, don't forget, Vinoy knows him from Florida. I didn't know him from anything. You know, to me, Mike is probably one of the most talented guys I know. Very, very intense. Like I could look back on my younger career where I was that intense. So I get it. I recognize it. I reflect in that mirror. And all I wanted to do was to be. There were a couple of moments in the back where it got intense, and you know, I'm not only am I the token white guy, I'm the old man in the show, right? Like I'm like
That's gonna be the intimidation factor right there, right?
Like I'm Gandalf in this whole, you know.
You shall not win.
Exactly. I was waiting for someone to grab my beard and be like, "Yeah, the beard of knowledge."
That's why I knew it was serious. Every time he did this, you'll think of new,
that's my samurai way. Yeah. You know, but it was intense. Mike's passion for what he does and the perfection of it is inspiring. I love that about Mike. You know, and that was one of the things I was like the whole time. I'm like, this guy is gonna have to win. There's nobody here mindset. No, like literally. I was saying it the whole time. Michelin Mike's winning it. You know, and everyone was like,
love that nickname, by the way.
You say again?
Who was the one who started Michelin Mike? Is that what it was you? Love that nickname. Thanks, bud. And
like I'm always about the fun.
Oh my god.
But it was the intensity that Mike had. I love. Because I love the passion. But you know, Mike, how much can I go into? I don't want to embarrass you. This is your show. I don't want to embarrass you, but I kind of did.
I was a dick.
I feel like, so let me. I'm going to embarrass Mike. Where is it? I don't have.
Oh god.
So the first day of competition, we did our thing, and it was okay. Time's up, hands up, and Vinoy literally put a microgreen extra or moved it to the side. And Mike loses his shit. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're cheating, dude. He's cheating. He's breaking the rules. And we go in the back room. And Vonoy's like, he's like, no, you follow the rules. If you're going to be in this competition, you're going to follow the rules.
God, you're spilling the tea, bro. You're spilling the tea. All right.
Listen, you set your show up. I'm just.
I know. Oh, I forgot about that.
That sounds about right, though.
That's when I knew, like in my heart, like I love this guy. I love Mike. I love his intensity. I love his passion for wanting to be right. And I'm like, you know what, Vinoy, he's not wrong. You know, but we got to do the right thing. He's like, yeah, but it was I go, I get it.
But it's part of it. You know.
And, you know, it's like, to me, that's how it should be. You know, I wish they would have videotaped a lot of the stuff that went on.
Oh god, I hope our mics were not hot back there because it got very heated. No, but you know, it's these. I mean, you get these guys, right? This is the first competition that I think everybody did long format.
Yeah,
and you're 2 weeks in with these dudes, day in, day nights. You know, you're going through this really unique experience together. You're bound to get really close really fast. And like there's heartbreaking moments of like the competition where you're like, man, you broke my heart when you did that, you know, or you know, you're going out after drinks and it's all good, but it's during that thing, it's for me anyways, it was really intense. And a lot of the guys like Eric, Vinoy, and John, like, I mean, still talk to this day very close because you went through just this experience together, you know. So I think that was the best part that I took out of it. What about for you, Eric? What were your takeaways from the whole experience?
That I'm not a sushi master.
Or are you? I guess we'll have to watch to find out.
Hey, you don't have to be a sushi master to win, man. I'll tell you, you don't have to be a sushi master to win. No.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like we're doing a premiere night here
Right.
on the 16th, and everyone's
You're
like,
making sushi.
"Oh, yeah, I'm making sushi tonight. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do something."
Let's go.
But yeah, but the biggest takeaway for me was really being able to continue to grow as a chef, as a cook,
Right.
to learn more. Like some of the things that Mike that you gave me a whole list of definitions of different foods and different things. You emailed it to me, you messaged me with it, and I
Yeah.
just love learning. You know, picking up like even like Kenji. I had no idea who he was. I
Oh
didn't know who
man.
Dakota was, and apparently especially Kenji's like some monster, and I'm like, okay.
I
So
mean, he's
I picked up his
Yeah.
in
books.
the industry. I mean, the wealth of knowledge of
Yeah.
these judges. I mean, not just in sushi, but just the caliber of judges we had. I was like, that was scary. That was scary to me. That was.
You knew who they were. So for me, other than
Yeah.
Morimoto, Lyrica, I had no idea what she was. Like it never came into my into my scope. And I know who Morimoto was because I know him, but
Right.
I just didn't like. Then I started learning more about everybody as time went on.
Right. Right.
Reality versus Instagram, so to speak. But for me, the takeaway was knowing that I still had have so much more to do in my career. That I'm like scratching the surface, even though I'm doing it for almost 43 years. Like I could always evolve, and I could always grow, and I could always do more, and I could always get better, and I could always humble myself by something that I don't know. And this was one of those moments. Like really, like when I came back, my head was spinning, not just because of the competition but because of everyone that I met. And I some people that I thought I had a more of a connection with, and it turns out that I didn't. But it is
Right.
it is. You get 8 people in a room, and you're going to jive with some people, and some people you're going to feel out, and you're not going to connect with, and you're not going to, and that's okay. But for me, it was like I'm an open book. I want to learn from everybody. I want to grow with everybody. I want to build
Right.
relationships
Right.
with everybody. Like Mike, with you, we've had a lot of phone conversations since then.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
as a person, as a human being, I saw where you were at that moment, and I had to make sure that you were okay. That I reached out to you to make sure you're good because I know the frustration that you had. I know where you railed
Oh
off.
yeah, man. I
You
mean,
know,
Eric, weeks after, months after we were talking, and he just called me. He's like, "Are you good? You're
yeah,
good. Everything's good." Because it is. I mean, I went in there, very intense, very intent to do what I had to do.
Yeah. Very extreme.
Very extreme. Even down to a point. Like I handed out, you know, a glossary of definitions of Japanese ingredients, and I want the best.
Yeah.
When I want to compete at the highest level with these guys who, okay, let's catch you up.
Yeah.
Let's get you to a level where like this gets fun.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it fun. And Eric, gave me a run for the money. Like everybody did. It was tough. So
yeah. But for me, like the learning from you and that style of cuisine, it was great. There was some things I learned from something from everybody in a lot of the positive ways, also in some of the negative ways of what not to do and how not to. There was a couple of little moments, not from you, but from others that I saw interactions with.
build a team.
Why
We'll
would you
save it
say
for the
that?
next episode.
Yeah. Why would you say something like, I, I went on with an open heart and an open mind to go and to
Right.
do the best that I could with what I have. And I could give a shit less if I won the whole thing. The whole experience was what it was about. And to be able to go in it that way, for me, it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think those other agendas in the sense of like they're just trying to get as much screen time, or do you feel like, competition wasn't their main goal, right? You like, this is an opportunity in any which way to get on, to promote yourself as a chef and
right.
what you're doing and to stand out amongst the crowd. Um, so you're kind of feeling like there was a little bit of like, hey, there's not alternative motives, but definitely other things driving other
Yeah,
contestants.
there's one or two that I truly believe were there just for that, and
Yeah.
and that's okay. Listen, I don't
Yeah.
I don't hold it against anybody. Like
You're here for your reason. I'm here for my reason. Period. That's it.
We're just
And
here to compete.
I was there, because I wanted to do something way, way out of my comfort zone, but I didn't realize how out of my comfort zone I would be. I enjoy competition. I love Morimoto. I love doing things that are not comfortable. I love being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Again, I didn't know how uncomfortable it would be for me, but having evolved into that next phase for me in life, having just grown in so many different ways, this was another step for me. And yeah, it's always good for the business, for TV time. Doesn't matter how good or bad you do, as long as you don't look like a jackass. And it was, that's not, I truly don't believe that that's going to be part of it. There's not going to be any of that drama because it's Morimoto, and he's very
Morimoto. I feel he's very like, hey, even when we saw him demoing or doing things there, you're like, this guy, it's like seeing Jordan. It's like he's still got a couple years.
Yeah.
We could go 99, 2000. We got a couple years of champion right here, and seeing him still break down fish and do these things, you're like, it's
like riding a bike.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for so long.
Yeah, he's been doing it for so long. And that to me is like, that's why I was there. Like, it's Morimoto, like I was so like blessed to be in that space with you guys and with him. Like, and I've done things with him. I'm the only guy. I don't know if you can see it here. I don't know if I'm see up there.
You got caricatures of him?
Yeah, I'm the only guy who's got a caricature with him.
Yeah.
Right? One of the only few. Myself, Ming Sai. It's and being in that wheelhouse with them and spending time with them and being able to, get to know him and so when he came out and he saw me, he was like, NXM. He
knew exactly who you were.
Yeah. And it was a great experience. It was a great experience. The biggest takeaway was being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation and being able to grow from it and to learn from it, and relationship with you and Vinoy and John and Jason, even Francis. It's
what are you trying to say, man? What are you trying to say?
I need to meet this Francis person.
Oh, Lord. You know what? She's
a character.
She's a character, all right. I mean, there were some things that I like, even I was like, did you just say that? Like,
What 100%. There's some and I was a quiet, tough guy, just intense, whatever you want to say about me.
Just standing there sweating
and
profusely.
Here's right next to me is this loud, boisterous, funny, just like the center of attention person.
She was the polar opposite of you.
And we were like
crazy.
We were desk mates. Her kitchen was right next to my kitchen. I'm like,
yeah, that's right.
This is fantastic. I'm gonna really.
That was a powder keg waiting to explode.
Everyone was waiting for But man, I'm so excited. So you're gonna be opening a sushi bar next, right? You're down for the
No.
I will do. I am actually working on something that is a
sushi pasta.
Well, that'd be kind of a cool thing, but it's kind of like a Spanish sushi hybrid.
All right.
So sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi, Spanish and sushi.
We're gonna work on that.
I'm in.
Don't do the trademark yet. You're not gonna get anywhere, man. Yeah. Dude, that sounds exciting. I know you and Vinoy are gonna do the. You guys are gonna be in New York and going to. He's gonna be at your restaurant.
Yeah, we're doing a fundraiser for an organization called Olivia's Hope.
Nice.
So they help families who have children with cancer. They're fighting childhood cancer. So he's gonna come. A friend of mine, Robbie, who won Pressure Cooker on Netflix, is going to be part of it, as well as Ed Porter, who's also on the show. So it's kind of a cool thing, and be able to pay it forward. And these guys are monsters, and to hang out with them. We need to get to Vinoy's place in Ohio.
I told him I'm down to do it. I'm down to have you guys down here soon.
I would love it.
Yeah, I'm excited for what's to come, man. I mean, we're now lifelong friends, comrades, brothers.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. No, thanks, man. I'm proud of you, everything you've been through, what you're doing, and for the show. So if you guys want to see more and you want to get I mean, we want to do these episode by episode. I don't know how they're gonna drop these episodes. It's still kind of new to us, but if we want to do an episode by episode, get a few of the guys here talking about maybe the back end of what was going on in these
I would
Behind the
episodes.
love to
scenes.
do that. Yeah, we should jump on it. You know, like set it up for like Monday or something. You know, after
Oh
the
yeah,
show,
absolutely, man.
and get
So
a few of us on and box it in, and we can all chirp about
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, but they're dropping the whole thing at one time.
To drop the whole thing at one time, we could do week by week. Leave a
Yeah,
comment below how you want us to release it. We definitely want to get everybody involved in
yeah.
it. I'm
including Francis.
I'm
I'm sure I'd love
really
for Francis to be on it.
I'll ask.
But
I'll ask.
you have
I'll
John
ask.
coming on.
John's coming on as well. We got him scheduled, but
Oh, that's gonna be a banger and a half, man. He loves busting your shoes.
I've
Oh,
got
it's
the
great.
I've got the aspirin ready for it.
You
Trust me. John is my headache. He
Oh, he
is.
is. Oh my god, he doesn't let you get
Yeah.
away with shite either, man.
Yeah,
That was
I was
great.
definitely the guy that got the most flack from everybody, but that's okay. I like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I get the
Listen, it
competition.
wasn't like you didn't deserve it.
Yeah. Oh, I earned
I
my
was good
stripes,
to you.
baby.
And listen, I was good to you. I was like big brother to you. Yeah,
I earned my stripes from everyone.
Me too.
No, it's gonna be. I'm really excited for this show. I'm excited
Yeah,
for
me
what
too.
you're doing, man. We'll try to get this all linked up
Yeah.
in the near future. So, Eric, Chef Eric, thank you so much.
My pleasure,
Appreciate
buddy.
the
it.
time.
Pleasure.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
All right, up.
And out.
All right,
Cool.
All right, good.
that's good. But
Thank you,
let's
man.
wait for a second.
For him to upload.
Yeah.